Hello everyone. So welcome you all to the final year of your engineering. So I hope you all busy in your placement activities. So but now uh, we have to continue along with that placement activities. We have to complete our syllabus. So that's why. So I'm making this video. So in this semester, I'm going to handle web technology and its application. Okay, so this subject is your first subject in your 7th sem. So web technology and its application. So that subject code is 17 CS 71 70 CS 71. So and then so this subject is new to you actually. So you are not yet studied anything about web technology and its application in your previous semesters, just like other programming languages. So you studied different programming languages you studied C programming, Java programming, and then you studied .NET also, and then you studied Python also. So, but this one is web technology. So, why this web technology means for creating user interfaces. So that a user interface is nothing but so if you want to open or if you want to browse anything in a browser, what you are going to do? So if you want to browse, so you have to open any website. So you open websites, right? So in your browser you type something. For example, if you want to search if you want to search any programming languages or any information, just like if you want to get information about Java, so you go and type Java in your browser. That's it. So then the Java related websites are come. So that to websites. So now we have to create. We are going to create. So for creating that website is nothing but what? That one is the user interaction. For interacting users means for providing information to the users, we are going to create a website. So in that website, it have mainly two things. One is front end and as well as back end. So by next when we go to the depth concepts related to this web technology, there you can know about what is front end and as well as what is back end. So in website, front end is nothing but what you are seeing in your screen. Okay, so what you are seeing in your screen, what information you are getting in your screen in front of your computer. So in your computer screen, okay, in front of you, what information you are getting, that one is the front end designing. And then back end is nothing but when you click something, so you get some information. So for example, in some websites they are asking you to register. Okay, you enter your details. The details are going stored in a database. So the database is your background, back end designing. So both front end and as well as back end designing uh, uh, combine together. We call as web application development. So for developing that entire website, we called as web technology. So I hope you may understand something about this web technology. So web technology is nothing but developing a user interface. Okay, for interacting, your computer going to interact with the user. So through browser. So that's why web is nothing but through browsers. So browser without internet, your browser will not work, right? So if you don't have internet, can you access your browser? No, you can't access your browser. It will showing that no internet, right? So for interacting with your computer or for getting information through your computer through internet, we called as web technologies. So for developing that websites, okay, the best example is website. So for developing mainly the websites like user interface, we use web technologies. So and then we uh, in this uh, in this subject we are going to discuss about web technology and as well as and its application, where we are going to use all those things we discussed. So and then I hope you all did DBMS project. So in the DBMS project, I observed that many of you are used we are used front end by using this HTML. So I hope you know something about that HTML, how to create that boxes and how to create that layout design. So if you did that project by your own, then you may know, or somehow I hope you may know about this web technology, means a website developing. Okay, so now we discussed about syllabus. So in this today's session, we are going to discuss about syllabus. Okay, so today's session, in the sense, in this today's video we are going to discuss entire thing about syllabus only. Okay, so I hope you understand something about that web technology, what is that web technology, why we are going to use. So yeah, you already know about subject code is 17 cs 71, and then a marks is for 40, and then exam marks 60. So you written for 100, and then they converted into 60. Okay, so and then along with this web technology and its application theory, so you may have also lab. Okay, lab also, and then you have mini project, you have to do mini project also. Okay, so now where you have three subjects, one is web technology and its application theory, one is lab, and another one is you have to do the mini project. Okay, so as usual, so what you studied from last 3 years. So here also you have same 5 modules. So in that first module, so in your first module, we discussed about HTML. Okay, introduction to HTML. So here we are discussing about entire thing about HTML and CSS. Okay, so here we discussed about HTML and CSS. These HTML and CSS are very important to create any front-end designing, for any front-end web pages. If you want to design any front-end web pages, so for that we have to use HTML. Okay, HTML is nothing but hypertext markup language. So this markup language, by using this markup language, so why we call this markup language, that we discussed in next classes. Okay, so here in first module we discussed about HTML, hypertext markup language. That one is the coding language. So not coding, scripting. Here we call it scripting. Why that script, that we discussed in when we go to the concepts. Okay, so and the next one is CSS. CSS is cascading style sheet. So the here that HTML and CSS, we use these two for designing front end. Front end means your web pages. So here HTML just give a layout structure. Okay, it gives a structure, and CSS we are using cascading style sheets. We are using for designing that structure. Okay, that layout, for that layout, if you want to design, sir, what is the design means if you want to change the font color, font size, or font design, if you want to give background colors. Okay, so that designing will be provided by your CSS. So that we discussed in the first model, HTML and as well as CSS. And in second model, we discussed about how to create tables. Okay, so that HTML tables are very important. Okay, so if you get a result, your result sheets will come in the form of table. Okay, table boxes. Okay, that how you create with that we discussed in second model. And then forms. So forms are nothing but, so your fill the entry. If you want to sign in or if you want to register, you get some form, right? Form means for collecting user information, means your name, phone number, photo, and all. So for creating that forms, we are using HTML forms. How you are going to create that forms, that we discussed in second model. Okay, okay, and then next how to style a tables. You can style a tables. Okay, that we discussed. And then in form controls, different types of form controls are there. So in form also, in some information they are collecting through input fields, you have to provide inputs. Some just you have to attach the file field, and then some radio buttons are the check buttons, radio buttons. Okay, so like that we have different form controls that we discussed. Okay, and then next, advanced css means we are going to create a layout. So layout means here we are going to create a responsive designs. So responsive design is nothing but, so if you create any web page, that web page will be open in all the devices in the sense, if you create web page means anywhere we can open. No, it's not possible. If you create any web page by using desktop, you can open only in desktop. But if you create that same web page by using responsive designing, you can open in mobile, You can open in tablet and then you can open in desktop. Means low end devices, low resolution, low screen size devices to high screen size devices. Okay, if you design only for desktop, it can open only in desktop, not in other devices. But if you design by using responsive, okay, it may open in large size screen till to small size screen, that we discussed in second model. And then next one is next one is JavaScript. Okay, so this JavaScript I already told in website developing we have two parts. One is front end and as well as back end. Front end just to view, okay, for creating the user view, okay, what we are seeing. So that one is front end. For that we are using HTML, CSS, and then next one is advanced CSS responsive designings. So next one is for backend. Backend means for storing information. Okay, if you create a form, that form information if you want to store, okay, that store in database. For that one we are using PHP in fourth module. Okay, next I will tell you why we use third module. But before that we use fourth okay. In third module itself we are discussing about PHP. PHP is a language. Okay, PHP is a language. Okay, so this one is used to store the information in the backend. Okay, in database we are going to store the information from front end to back end. If you are connecting the information, means you are going to share the information. Okay, personal home page. Okay, so personal PHP is nothing but personal home page. Okay, so that personal home page, so that helps, that works an interface. Okay, so that helps or that works as an interface between the front end and as well as the back end. Okay, so for sending the information, for collecting the information from the user and sending to the server, and then server means your database. From the database, if you want to get that same information from database to front end, so that it will transfer the information. How we are going to store the information and then transfer the information? So for that we have to use PHP. By using PHP we are accessing the data, or we are storing and then we are retrieving the data from the database. That one is PHP. But in the middle, so here in websites, if you want to use any programming languages, this one is JavaScript. JavaScript is it's a combination of Java and as well as scripting language. So now here for creating web pages we are applying programming languages. So why we are going to applying programming languages? So are you observed in some of the forms? If you want to fill your name, it will ask your name format. Your name should be 8 characters. Okay, 8 characters. And then if you want to create password, that password contains three first is capital letter and then next 8 characters, and then in that 8 characters one capital uppercase and then lowercase and then special character and then numerics. All these conditions will be mentioned. So that conditions, for that condition, after entering your details, that condition will check through programming languages. That programming languages is your JavaScript. For giving programming effects to your web pages, okay, so we are using JavaScript. Okay, in mainly forms for checking that informations. So whether you enter, means if you want to collect the information in your own format, okay, in your own format, and then for giving effects, for effects like animation effect. So we use JavaScript. Through this JavaScript we can include sliders. So are you observing some websites that images are keep on moving? So that moving images you can attach through JavaScript. Okay, they were writing code using JavaScript. Okay, and then in programming you can create in websites. In by using HTML you can create simple calculator. Okay, so you can create calculator for calculations. So we have to use program. Okay, for that program we use JavaScript. For providing programming effect. Okay, so for providing programming effect to your web pages, For providing programming effect to your web pages, so we use JavaScript. JavaScript is also a programming language. Okay, and then some of the effects. Sometimes if you click something, so it will pop up some messages for pop-upping some message. Okay, so for pop-up messages we use JavaScript. And then next in fourth model we discussed about the advanced concepts regarding PHP advanced. Okay, so PHP advanced concepts we discussed in fourth module. How to read the files, and then we have some of the super global variables to accept the information to store in the databases. Okay, and then get post means I already told you collect the information from the user, that one is get, and then now some post that collected information we are sending to database, that one is the post. So that we discussed in fourth model. Okay, and then next in fifth model we discussed about the jQuery. Okay, jQuery, Ajax. Okay, so and then MVC architecture, JSON and XML. So these are all the advanced concepts. So that the jQuery is nothing but the JavaScript advanced concept. I told that animation effects. Animation effect rates means in some websites if you click some box on button, so it will disappear. It will disappear the some images. If you click again, it will show that same image. Okay, and then image size will increase, decrease. That effects will be given by using this jQuery. Okay, and then if you move your cursor, it color will be get changes, and then it will get highlighted. If you want to highlight something when you move your cursor, for that we use jQuery. Okay, and then next is Ajax. Ajax is nothing but advanced concept, asynchronous JavaScript. So asynchronous JavaScript is nothing but just like your search button. In search button, so if you type something, okay, it will show the contents, existing contents, that the data are present or not. Okay, and then sometimes that we called as accordance we created. So that we discussed in, we go to fifth model, and then JSON, JavaScript object rotation. These are the advanced concepts of your jQuery. So these 5 models we discussed. Okay, so in your syllabus we have this entire 5 models. Okay, this one is the introduction regarding to your web application, web technology and its application. Okay, don't worry about this one. Okay, so we go through one by one. Okay, this one is the very easy subject, you can easily score. Okay, and then next along with this theory, you have what? You have lab. Okay, we have lab. In your lab you have 10 programs. Okay, in your lab you have 10 programs. So the lab subject code is 17 CSL 77. Okay, so here first lab program based on JavaScript. So based on JavaScript, here you have to by using JavaScript you have to do some product and the difference and quotient. And then second program is also JavaScript based, and then second, third, and then next fourth one is regarding HTML5. So that one is also a easy one. Okay, here we have to find out the leftmost oval, where the position of leftmost oval, and then fifth one is XML. Okay, so XML, so that we discussed, that one is also a scripting languages. Okay, Mm. And then next remaining 5 programs are regarding PHP. Okay, PHP, so that PHP is a server-side scripting language. HTML and CSS are a client-side scripting language. Okay, client-side means just for front-end designing. Why we call server-side in the sense, so that language interact with the server. Through, if you want to interact with the server, then you have to use PHP. Okay, so that we have. So here in lab, 50 marks per program, and then 30 marks. We have remaining. For you, syllabus is changed, right? Okay. So all laboratory experiments from part A are included in the practical exam mini project to be evaluated for 40 marks. So now for 60 marks, your programs. So what 10 programs is there? That any one program you have to pick and then you have to execute. Okay, and then 40 marks. 40 marks, remaining 40 marks is for lab. Is for your mini project. So for mini project, I will tell you the concepts. So and then based on that concept, you have to create your websites by using the uh, by using the concepts what you have in your syllabus. Okay, don't worry about mini project. I will give you. I will assign the topics. Okay. Okay. I hope you understand. Uh, I hope you understand what's your syllabus and then subject what that the theory subject will contain what's your lab. Okay. So for this regarding this introduction part we discussed I scheduled one Zoom meeting. Okay, in that we discussed about any doubts if you have. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, if you get any doubts regarding this, so you post a message in a group. Okay.